All right, guys, I'm going to get into discussing why Primerica Life today here in a second. But right now, this promotion is still going on and it ends Monday at midnight. There is never, ever going to be an easier shot of increasing your commission forever. One app, right, of 1,000 annual premium or two apps of 600 or more, right, gets you to that promotion. That's it. You lock it in, you keep it forever. Now, that doesn't affect your bonus, right? It's unless it is also, you have a recruit paired with it. But one app gets you promoted. One app. That's it. Right? The promotion exchange stuff, nobody's really at even a level to where that matters. But if you are under somebody and you hit those numbers, you would get the exchange. If you think that promotion exchange applies to you, text me directly. I will explain to you. For everybody else, though, you really just kind of need to be focusing on the fact that one app will get you promoted, right? One app, or could get you promoted, I guess is a better way to say it. The other thing right now, too, is if you get the app, and I don't know what happened to this picture, but good Lord, right? Guys, you can earn a coaching session with Andy, $1 million earner, right? One app gets you into the general coaching session. Three apps or three recruits gets you into a legit one-on-one with him, and he'll record it for you and he'll help you like personally one-on-one with your business. Who thinks they could learn something from a guy who's made $1 million a year starting last year in the business? I mean, I do. I earned it, and I'm going to take my session with him. I promise you, right? I never miss an opportunity to get coaching from Andy and earn that coaching, even though I have access to him. Because if I'm not out there earning it, how can I expect you guys to do it, right? So that's big. But the real big focus for today is why Primerica Life? Why is our life insurance better than everything else out there? And I'm not just biased because I'm a regional vice president for Primerica, guys. I truly believe that our term life insurance is better than every other term product on the planet, and I'm gonna show you why, right? We're accredited with the Better Business Bureau, right? A plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. We've been accredited since 1980. Guys, the company's been in business since 1977. Since February of 77, 47 years, almost 48 years. Okay. I went and Googled this today. So like look right here, right? Saturday, November 30th at 9:41. I Googled this right before we jumped on the meeting. If you Google Forbes and Primerica, look at all of the awards out there, right? 2024 best employer, 2022 best insurance company. These are hard to see. Like some of us might need to get our readers out. Best insurance, best employers for diversity, best employers for women. Okay, like the list is endless. It's endless. And check this out. Let me I'll show you later. Remind me at the end, there's a web page I want to give you guys that has all of the corporate awards on it. This is just to show you that when we say, we have a ton of awards from Forbes magazine, they're out there. But guys, think about this, and you can put in the Zoom chat. If somebody's looking for something, right? If they're looking for something, generally, will they find it? Yes, right? If you go looking for good, you're going to find it. If you go looking for bad, you're going to find it, right? Because if you Google or if you Google Primerica scam, you're going to get a whole bunch of hits, right? Give me enough time. I'll find you negative reviews on Santa Claus and puppies. You're going to find what you're looking for. Okay. I just wanted you guys to see this before we kind of move forward because foundationally, it's very important to understand. Like you work for an amazing company. Okay. And really, once people truly understand the value of our product, there is no competition, right? And next time we'll kind of go over like term versus term, whole life, like term versus whole life. But you guys really need to understand the product first, right? This is new for some of you guys. If you haven't seen this yet, we've been building an app. It's live. Once you're a client, and even once your policy is like pending, right? A client can download the app, they can register, they can create an account, and in the app, clients have access to their policy real time. They can change and update beneficiaries, they can change banking info, they can change billing schedules, they can add kids to their own policy without an agent. Guys, do you know how many times I sit down with clients and they're like, I can't even find my policy. I don't have a copy of it. I'm like, really? Have you tried to get one? They're like, yeah, it takes forever. I get like one page in the mail. Like, that's not good. Wouldn't you rather have constant access to your policy if you needed to just see something or make a change? Yeah, tie downs, right? So guys, learn the tie downs. But this is huge. And if you guys don't have this, go to your Google Play Store or your App Store right now and download and go search My Primerica. It'll look like this. Okay. Put in the Zoom chat, guys. How many different types of life insurance do we offer? Who knows? See a couple answers. One, term. Yep. That's it. One. Because buy term and invest wins every time. And any agent out there that wants to challenge me on it, I'll go toe to toe. I don't care what company they're from. Okay. Yeah, it's only one, guys. It's Primerica term. Now we have terms from 10 to 35 years, and all of our policies are level term life insurance, guys. So that means the price today is the price all the way at the end, and it never changes. That's huge. And there are companies out there that offer 35-year terms. Not many. It's us, and I think one other one that Dave Ramsey supports. That's it. I've never found another company that offers a 35-year term. Think about it. Most insurance companies want you in a 10, 15, or 20-year level term because when you take that term out at the end of it, you're going to be probably 45, right? Then are you done needing life insurance at 45 or 50 generally? No. I mean, unless you hit some sort of like multi-billion dollar lotto or multi-million lotto kind of thing, but no, generally not. Right. And so the longest level term possible when you're as healthy and as young as possible makes it what, guys? Who can follow that train? If you're as young and as healthy as you're ever going to be, and now you've got life insurance forever, right? Yeah, it's as cheap as it's ever going to be. So look, it's the best coverage on the planet, period. And I'm going to show you why today, right? Because we have so many things that are built into the policies that other companies will charge you like as additional like cost extras. But the biggest one, the absolute biggest one, guys, is this. It's right here. It's guaranteed insurability forever, forever, right? Think about this. 35 years from now, assuming you were young enough to qualify for that kind of policy, because we can't take you past the age of 80 on a level term, right? So let's say you're 45 years old and I give you a 35-year level term because you say, yep, that makes sense. At 80, do you think you're likely going to be healthier than you are right now? I mean, just in general, right? At 80, probably not, right? And so if I could tell you that at 80, if you came back like right now with a preferred health rating, you would keep it at 80 and you would just decide how much coverage you felt like paying for. You never have to do another medical exam when it's time to renew your policy. Now, it will be more expensive because you're 80, right? But if you decided that you wanted more coverage, you can have it. No medical exam, you cannot be declined. I don't care, and Primerica doesn't care if you've got like stage 99 cancer and you're literally about to croak. You will not be declined. It'll be more expensive, but you won't be declined. How many other companies can you even think of that offer that? Because I haven't found one. I have not found one. There are companies that do terms as long as ours, but I have not ever found one that does this. So if you want to talk about a value proposition, that's huge, right? Another thing that's built into the policy is called an increasing benefit rider. Okay. Think about this, guys. Like, think back 10 years ago on what a $500,000 would buy you. Just think of a house, right? Just think of a house in your neighborhood. If you were 10 years ago, if you would have spent a $500,000 on a house, it probably would have gotten you dang near a mansion. Am I right? Right. Now, today, think about a $500,000 house. So now in the future, think about a $500,000 house, right? Increasing benefit rider is like inflation protection. And so the question when you're talking about this to clients is, I mean, Mr. and Mrs. Client, is a $500,000 10 years from now going to be the same as it is today? No, probably not, right? So if I could give you a way that would build you in inflation protection into your policy, that would make sense. Am I right? Guys, listen to the tie downs, okay? And if you're not taking notes, you better grab a pen because the dullest pencil is better than the sharpest mind. All right. Here's the actual verbiage of what the IBR is, right? It's an automatic 10% increase in the face value. Basically, every year you get an extra 10%. Now, you don't have to qualify for it. It's in there, it's guaranteed. Even if you get sick, like even in year one, if you decide, like if you get sick and all of a sudden you've got some crazy diagnosis, like I have a client that reached out the other day. Hey, Noah, just wanted to check in. We got some terrible news. My wife's got cancer. We're working on treatments. I know my policy is good, but can you just check on everything for me? Absolutely. I pulled it up. She's still covered. They left the increasing benefit rider on because it's optional. And one thing we're going to talk about too is they left the waiver of premium in place. We'll get to that. Okay. Here's a chart though on what increasing benefit rider looks like. Oh, sorry, next page. But this is that inflation protection, right? Guys, it will effectively double your face value from now going forward in 10 years in 10% increments. And you can cancel it anytime. It's up to the client. So here's what it actually looks like from a policy. Okay. This client has a quarter million in coverage, premium class 4, she's female, right? Her first year monthly policy, right, is 80 bucks. 80 bucks a month, right? Because that's her and the babies. So her coverage, precision term 30, so it's a 30-year term level, right? For $250,000, hers is $60 a month. Now, if you look over to the other side, this is the rider table. In the first year, she's 44. Does the rider cost anything? Put it in the Zoom chat. Is there any cost? There's no cost because there's no value, right? We're not giving her anything extra, so therefore we're not charging her anything for it. Starting in year two of the policy, she's a year older. She has an extra 25,000 in coverage, extra 10%, and the cost is less than what 10% of her policy would be, right? Now, in this one, it's a little different because she's a little older. But look, guys, from a year 11 through 20 of the policy, she's 54 now. She didn't have to qualify for it. She has an extra quarter million in coverage. It's 70 bucks, and it doesn't change in price for 10 years. She's got 500,000 in coverage. Now, going into year 21, I will never let a client keep this unless they are like terminally ill and then they want to keep the extra quarter million for 400 bucks because they know it's just going to be a matter of months. But other than that, I would never, why would I let a client pay 400 bucks when she's still got a level term policy for 60? Does this make sense, guys? Is this clicking why this is such a big deal? Because we're going to give you this automatically. It's built into the policy. You don't have to qualify for it. Even if she got like wicked sick back here, don't you think it would make sense for her to be able to guarantee like increasing her coverage even though she's sick? And the schedule is set. It's not going to change in price. Like how crazy is that? Okay. So here's a big one for a lot of you people that know, military people. Guys, there's no war or terror clause in our policy. Here's a quick story. Everybody remembers 9/11, right? So when 9/11 happened, tragic day, there were two companies that paid out death claims immediately with no questions asked. Some of you know this, right? But it was USAA and Primerica. Now, a lot of other companies over time and after a lot of litigation, they decided to pay, right? Because the negative sort of connotation of not paying after a 9/11 incident would be huge. But a lot of companies still have war and terror clauses built into their policies, meaning on 9/11, that was an act of war or terror. They could have declined the policy. We didn't. Within like 7 days, we had clients in like the Twin Towers. We sent death claim checks with no bodies and no death certificates. We just knew the people worked there and they didn't come home. It's crazy. I'll tell you, remind me if we have time, I'll tell you a story about the Vegas shooting. Okay. Waiver of premium, guys. This waiver premium inside the policy is optional and it does two things. Okay. If you're if you have waiver of premium on your policy and you, for whatever reason, become disabled, right? You're permanently disabled for 6 months or more, Primerica will refund you back the 6 months of policy premium payments that you made, and then they pay your policy for the rest of its life. It's crazy. Crazy. There's a Andy tells a story about somebody's dad who's a farmer who's like, oh yeah, I've had Primerica coverage for years. He's like, oh really? What do you pay? I don't pay anything. I got into an accident on the farm, lost digits or whatever, and they just have paid my policy forever because I'm technically disabled. Now, this doesn't apply to the military, right? Like if you get out of the military and you're disabled, like that's not how that works, right? But if you're permanently disabled and you were already a client after an accident, right? That's one thing that waiver premium does. The other thing that waiver premium does, helps if I go the right way. Where'd it go? Oh, down here. Right. So terminal illness benefit. Okay. Waiver premium will take that terminal illness benefit from 40%, which is built in and free, up to 70%. Okay. So now, terminal, obviously, if you get a terminal diagnosis, that is not good. That's some bad news, right? But think about this. If you got a terminal diagnosis and you found out you had like 6 months to live, who right now, outside of a current policy holder with Primerica, do you know that if they got that news, they would have access to a couple $100,000? Anybody? I mean, I don't know that many people that are sitting around on a couple of hundred grand in cash that they can access basically for free and no penalty, right? Mandy, I'm still covering the next term. Waiver premium ends at age 60, based on Mandy's question. She was asking if waiver premium covers in the next term. Waiver premium ends at age 60. And if there's more questions, guys, and I missed them, I'll come back and we'll rehash and go through all that. But the terminal illness benefit, 40% is built in, 70% up to 70%, right, is with the waiver premium on. Now there's caps, right? So 250,000 without waiver of premium, 40% of your policy, or 250,000, whichever comes first. And then 70% of your policy or 400,000, whichever comes first. Okay. But guys, the way this works, the terminal illness benefit, you're advancing yourself a portion of your death benefit. It's life insurance, so it's tax free. It's your money. And so if you had a 500,000 in coverage, right? Let's just say somebody has a 500,000 and they had the waiver premium. Now they can access 350 grand up to, you don't have to take all of it, right? Up to 350 grand. And if you take that 350, Primerica is going to send you a check. It's your money. It's sort of like the old JG Wentworth commercial. It's your money. I want it now. Do what you want, right? Pay medical bills. Go on a cruise around the world. I don't care. It's your money. But since you took that 350 up front, when you do go, unfortunately, because it's coming, right? It's going to happen. That 150 that's left, that's what gets paid out in your death benefit. Everybody clear on that? That makes sense? It's fair, right? Like if we're going to give you 350 up front and your policy is only 500,000, you get the other 150. So that's how that works. Any questions on this? Yeah. If you guys do have questions, remind me, put it in the Zoom chat. Okay, child riders. Oh my God, this is probably one of my favorite things. The child rider is amazing, right? So look, guys, for basically 14 bucks a month, without waiver of premium, it's 13.55. With waiver of premium, it's 14.18. So for around 14 bucks a month, we will cover every child for 25,000, whether that is a stepchild, actual child, grandchild, niece or nephew, if they live with you. We'll cover them all. Put them all on. My record is, I think 14, 13 or 14. I don't know. One lady who was the grandma said, I don't need a whole lot of coverage, but I like that rider thing you were just talking about. I want to cover all my grandbabies. I said, great. As long as your coverage is the same price or a little more than the child rider, we can do it. You don't need a whole lot. She's like, I don't know. Yeah, just give me like 25,000. and let's cover all the babies. Guys, it was like 60 bucks a month for her and the babies, and I covered all 14 of them jokers. Here's the best part. Here's the best part, right? Now that those kids are covered, they're coverable until age 25, and they can take it over for 5 times their own coverage, but it caps at 125. So hear me on this. Whenever you are putting a child rider policy on, you will always put it on for 25,000. There's no other option. Period. Now, yes, it goes from 1,000 to 50,000, but for you and for your clients and our clients, you will put it on for 25,000. Did we clear on that? Because it's all about the future value of this policy, guys. Because if it caps at 125 or 5 times their coverage, we need to make sure that we're maximizing that future value. No, Jessica, the grandbabies do not have to live with you. That's the amazing thing about this. You can cover them all of them, right? And so max of 125, but here's the big one. No medical check. There is no way that these kids will ever be declined in the future. Hear me on this. Nothing's ever going to happen to our kids, not ours, right? But how many times have you seen on social media, little Johnny's cancer research, the GoFundMe's, like you name it, like it's out there, right? Whether it's cancer or leukemia, some weird, crazy bone disease, it doesn't matter, right? Even if they make it at the end, do you think, truthfully, now be honest, do you think that that child will have an easy time as an adult getting life insurance at a reasonable rate? I mean, maybe, right? If it's been a long, long time but wouldn't you want the peace of mind of knowing that no matter what happened, when that child turns 25, you can click a button and hit convert, and now it's just paperwork and you add some banking info on, and that kid went from being covered for 25,000 for 125. And it just issues it standard, just regular old standard. Angela, do me a favor, quote me a 25-year-old boy for a 35-year policy at 125,000. What is it? Like 50 bucks? Put in the Zoom chat when you get a chance. Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing, guys. For that grandma, right? God forbid something happens to her. God forbid something happens to her and she goes, and all of them babies are still on that policy. Every single child gets paid up coverage until they're 25. They all have paid up life insurance until they're 25. Crazy. And then at 25, right, as they age off of the policy, that agent can reach back out to them and say, hey guys, you may not have ever even known this. My name is Noah. I was your grandmother's life insurance agent, and I helped with all of her financial stuff. She had policies on you guys. You're covered. You've been covered all this entire time. You didn't even know. We can convert your policy, or if you're healthy and you want more than just the 125, we can take care of that too. But you've been covered by Primerica since you were a baby. How crazy is that? Right? How much is the price increase when that child turns 25? Naomi, that just depends on the child. If the child is healthy, they can have as much coverage as they want, as much as they can qualify for, right? The conversion option is literally there as sort of like a safety net in case something happens, and in case that child has like, you know, some sort of like medical condition that would make them completely uncoverable by any other company or even from us, right? Because if they weren't already on the rider, guys, and they come in with some crazy health issue, not happening. Oh my God, 30 bucks a month. 25-year-old male for a 35-year level term for 125,000, 30 bucks a month. Guys, even if it was like 100 and somebody was that sick, do you think they would care? Put it in the Zoom chat. Do you think they would care? No, because guys, do you know who like really values life insurance more than anybody? People that can't get it, people that won't qualify for it. Because think about this. Would you rather be insured 3 years too early or 3 days too late? I'll wait. I'll wait. 3 years too early or 3 days too late, guys. Because 3 days too late, it's too late. It's too late. And that's why when people are like, oh yeah, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. Sure you will. Sure you will. They won't get to it unless you get to them. Remember that. Guys, life insurance is a thing that has to be shown value to a client. No one is going out and just like doing mass amounts of research on life insurance because it's uncomfortable. They don't want to talk about it. It's not something that is fun to go do research about. You would agree, right? And so this is where we come in. But check it out, guys. We don't sell anything. We don't. We don't sell anything. We show value and a client decides, but that's your job. You have to be good at your job. You have to understand the product. You have to be able to show enough value that a client's willing to move forward, right? And everybody's always like, oh, well, the cost, the price, blah, blah, blah. Well, look, I mean, price is only an issue. What? Who knows? Who knows the answer to this? Put it in the chat. It's only an issue what? Nobody knows. All right, well, that's my job, right? It's only an issue in the absence of
If you
value.
don't show value.
Perfect. I don't know who just unmuted, but good job. Because the video's over there. But that's it, guys. It's only an issue in the absence of value. So if someone's concerned about the price, we didn't do our job in showing enough value. And so think about this. House, car, tree. Some of you have seen that sort of demonstration before. If you don't know what I mean when I say house, car, tree, put it in the Zoom chat. Say no, or me, I don't get it, something. Who hasn't seen that before? Do, do, do. Okay, Marcel's never seen it, so here we go. New whiteboard. All right, if you know the answer, don't cheat, right? Don't cheat. And also, do not make fun of my drawings because I know you're going to want to. Okay, so house. Ooh, this is good. I could have almost done that with like one drawing. But we need a window. There we go. Okay, there's your window. House. This is the one that always gets me, right? Because it's gonna be like a Fred Flintstone car. All right. Give you some wheels. Those are some tiny wheels. That's not good. That car is not going very far. Whoa, who's drawing on my screen? Knock it off. Knock it off. Quit. Okay, look, house, car, tree. We're going to insure these, right? And if you know the answers, do not put it in the Zoom chat. House, car, tree, guys, we're going to put coverage on these. Which one are you going to insure first? 1, 2, 3, right? House, car, tree. And be honest, right? Who do you think? Oh, God bless. No. Hopefully I didn't delete. Yes. All right. House, car, tree. Which one are we going to insure? In that order, right? Like that's generally we would agree the order that we're going to insure these, right? So house, car, tree. Okay. Put in the Zoom chat, guys. How much do you pay for your house insurance right now? For your home insurance? House, car, tree. This is the order we're going to insure these, right? Okay. Casey said about 2 grand a year. Angela said 48 bucks. Angela, you got like the best deal running. Okay. Now, what about car insurance? What about car insurance, guys? How much are you paying for your car insurance? 200 a month? 80? 8 Destiny, that's pretty good. That's a more, yeah, average car insurance is somewhere between 2 and 400 a month. Okay. How much are you guys paying for your tree insurance? Zero, right? You're like, no, what the hell are you talking about? Nobody's insuring a tree, right? Now, let's change the information because I didn't give you guys all the information when I drew the picture. Okay. So here's the rest of the information. This tree is a money tree. And every week, this tree is going to leave you a fun little deposit of about $1,000. Just going to fall out of the tree. I know your mom said money didn't grow on trees. She's right. It's going to fall out of the tree. Okay. So if this tree is going to drop you about $1,000 a week, Now, which one do you want to insure first, right? You want to probably protect the heck out of that tree, right? I mean, I know, and I know it still seems weird to protect a tree and insure the tree, but guys, you are the tree. This right here, this little sweet deposit that's coming from your money tree is your income. It's your income. So if you're willing in most scenarios to pay 200 plus a month for this car, God forbid you wreck your car, how much is that company going to send you to replace that car? What do you think that check's going to be? If it's totaled, how much are they handing you? Not enough is a great answer, right? But I mean, maybe the value of the car, maybe if it's full coverage. So let's just say what, 20 grand? Somewhere between 10 and 50 grand, right? Well, if y'all are willing to drop 200 a month on this and all they're going to give you back is 10 to 50 grand, why on God's green earth do people go, I can't afford 80 bucks a month for 500,000 in coverage to protect my money tree? Why do they say it? They say it because we haven't shown enough value. They say it because they don't understand. They say it because no one's ever explained it to them like that before, right? Here's another way, and this is a rude way to do it, right? This is a really rude way to do it. Casey, do me a favor. Can you unmute yourself? I'm gonna add a little spotlight because
Yeah.
it's better this way. So we've already had conversation, right? And we're talking about price now. So Casey, as far as getting your coverage enforced, what we're going to do today, I just want to apply, see how it comes back. Sound good?
Yep.
Tell me no.
No.
Okay, good.
No, why not?
Awesome. Hey, so Casey, as far as like I mean, it's just an application. Like what's holding you back? Like what's the
Holidays are around the corner. It's everything's super expensive. I don't really have the extra money on top of, gifts and all of that.
no, Casey, I totally understand that. Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah.
If we're worried about like the extra money for those things right now, what happens if, God forbid, you don't come home from Black Friday shopping or, I mean, accidents happen. Am I right?
Yeah. Yep.
So if all of a sudden you didn't show up 2 weeks from now, how does your family keep doing the things that your family does?
They couldn't.
Okay, so right. In the next 60 seconds, Casey, because I have a magic ball, right? I know what's coming. In the next 60 seconds, a meteor is going to strike the house. I need you to write your husband a check for $500,000 and it has to clear. Can you do it?
No.
Okay. We got 40 seconds. Can you write a check right now for 78 bucks for the price of your coverage for you and the kids? Could you do
Yeah.
that?
Yep.
Awesome. Casey, that's life insurance. Because I can't write a check right now for a 500,000 that'll clear either, right? But I can
Yep.
write a check for 78 bucks or whatever your policy was that makes sure that God forbid something happens to me. Primerica shows up with that check for 500,000. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It does.
Because I mean, let's be honest, Casey, if you're paying 200 plus a month for your car insurance and that company is only going to hand you and Kyle a check for maybe 20, 30 grand, wouldn't you rather have the peace of mind of knowing that God forbid something happens to you and you don't come home? I'm bringing Kyle a check for $500,000.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Awesome. So listen, we're just going to apply and see how it comes back. That first draft will actually cover you for probably 60-ish days, depending on how long it takes to do your medical. And Casey, listen, I'll be honest, if you're really worried about it, we'll just push your medical exam off for about 30 days. And then I know for a fact that nothing's going to draft for at least 60 again, because it's going to take probably 30 days after your medical to get your policy back. Is that fair?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Awesome. So that'll get us through the holidays, but you're going to be conditionally covered the entire time. So God forbid something does happen, as soon as that payment drafts on Monday, you're going to be conditionally covered for the 500,000. God forbid something happens, I'm bringing Kyle a check for 500,000. Primerica's just keeping the $78.
That
Sound good?
sounds great.
Awesome. Who do you want the beneficiary to be?
Kyle.
Awesome. Okay, good. So many questions along the way, guys, and then end with an ownership thing, right? Because now she told me who she wants her beneficiary to be. She owns it. She owns it now. And throughout that process, guys, like, does it ever really feel like I was selling? Well, maybe a little, right? It is a sales process, but it's more questions. It's just questions, and you're getting the client to expose some of their own just like hesitations or misgivings, right? That's it. You're really educating, is what it comes down to. And then you're boom. Like if you've already been in the A diagram, now you do the A di or you finish the A diagram, now you're just straight in the application. Had you like I would have never been through that conversation had I not already been through an A diagram and explained a lot of stuff. Okay. So I promised you guys I would show you the awards page, and I will put it in the Zoom chat for us all as well. Because if you don't have this, guys, you should hold on to this. So go steal this out of the Zoom chat really quick, and somebody throw it in a chat somewhere so we don't lose it forever. But look at this, guys. This is our like corporate awards page. So obviously it's all good because it's all awards, right? But look at this. Forbes 22, Dalbar Mutual Fund Award. Guys, we've had this thing for over 20 years. It's an investment company award. Some of these things you'll never have heard of, right? But look, Fortune 1000. Everybody knows Fortune 500. Fortune 1000 is just the next 500 companies down. Guys, we're going to be a large cap rated company soon because we're worth more than $10 billion now. That's bananas. Look at this. Most trusted life, most trusted financial from investors business. The list just keeps going. Look, AM Best, Better Business Bureau for freaking 44 years. That's wild. Look, top workplaces in America. America's greatest workplaces for women from friggin' Newsweek, diversity, gender index. It just like guys, the list just keeps going. Look at this. It's crazy. And there's a boy. There's a boy, Glenn Williams. They need to update it. There's a bunch of stuff that I just Googled from Forbes today that just showed up, like literally Primerica Forbes. It just showed up. So guys, don't don't let what we learned today go to waste because understanding the value of what our policies have, it's a game changer because once you know all that, you're kind of unstoppable. Okay. So I'm gonna stop the recording and we'll get this out to